What is going on YouTube? Hit it back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be spending quite a bit of time discussing the very interesting market trends that are starting to happen. We're starting to see some sort of uptrend forming on both Litecoin, Bitcoin, and Ethereum's chart. We're also seeing this on XRP, but it is in an interesting pattern. It's actually an uptrend that is starting to hit the high-low middle moving average, which is quite interesting because this pattern could mean we're ultimately going to be breaking bearish and falling to lower levels. So that is something I want to discuss with you guys. Sorry once again for the video coming out late. I was traveling back up to my college for school. It's about a 6.5 hour drive. So yes, I am back in my apartment, and that means that the videos are now transitioning from what you will be seeing was my pre-recorded video at home to now my green screen setup at school. So pretty awesome. Definitely let me know what you think down below. Thank you guys for being patient and waiting for this video. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. So guys, before we jump into the technical analysis, I just briefly wanted to look over once again our weekly update of our Sonar deposit. We deposited $500 and basically come yesterday or 2 days ago, the 17th, so it was 3 days ago, I was given the opportunity to withdraw my profit that I made from the website, which was about $50. So I actually recorded that, and I wanted to show you guys the process of it and how I actually was able to get paid out in regards to the fact that there is risk involved with this website, and a lot of people were kind of on the fence as to whether or not you'll be able to withdraw your deposit. And so far so good. It's been a couple of days now that we've been using Sonar with this 500 deposit, and as you guys know, we're going to be testing out whether or not I'll be able to, at the end of my investment, to withdraw my original $500 deposit, if it will still be available, as well as being able to withdraw my profits after that. So as you guys can see here, basically you can see my balance, and then we have about $78 available and a summary profit of $44. And I was able to withdraw like the $44 fairly easily. It's as simple as really just clicking on transfer, and then only on the specific days can you transfer, which was interesting. So yes, there's a withdrawal penalty, but to withdraw your profit, it can only be on specific days, which is about once a week. So that was a little interesting, but it was as simple as clicking on Ethereum. I just grabbed my total, and then I got my Bitcoin address, or sorry, my Ethereum address from my Coinbase Pro wallet, and then it was just as simple as clicking on deposit and then copying that address and pasting it into the Sonar account, and that was pretty much it. Then it immediately cleared majority of my funds, went back to zero, which really wasn't that bad. And then as you guys can see, this is where it shows that your withdrawal type is pending, and then eventually it will clear and it will be sent to that account. So I waited about maybe like 30 minutes before I kind of forgot about it, and then I checked my Coinbase Pro account, and then as you can see, clear as day, my Ethereum was deposited into here. So that's about $50 so far, I believe 0.31. Ethereum at the time was about $50 worth of Bitcoin, or Ethereum, which was sent right there out of my $500 deposit. So honestly, not so bad. Obviously, we have to make sure we can either withdraw the $500 or wait for the profit to go higher than the $500 before we really get that positive return on investment. But so far we have about $450 left before we break even. As you guys can see, new changes coming to Sonar, very interesting. Just wanted to touch upon that before we jump in. But you can see the dashboard has totally changed. Not sure if I like the old one versus the new one, but nice to see that they're renovating and updating here. It shows you the amount of customers that are currently on the platform, a little over 18,000, which is crazy. But you can see they kind of gotten away with the US dollar price and now show you exactly what your investment is that's in the accounts. So you can see it only shows your Ethereum deposit and not your US dollar deposit, which is interesting. You can see my profits right here, and then my available invest profit right here as to what you can re-put back into the accounts, and then basically just gave it a new face. Compare the assets and see the benefits. Sonar Bitcoin, NASDAQ, gold, basically on the year from 2019 to 2020, the return on investment. Calculate your potential profit. That's pretty cool. They haven't really used this before, but we have about, I believe it was 4 coins put in, around 4 and change. So we'll see exactly how that pretty much shows you. Let's get to 4. Maybe I could just type in 4. Yeah, so about 4.2 Ethereum. And then you can see it basically shows you a 1 month, 3 months, and then 6 months without the reinvest 1 year, about 148%. So it does take quite a bit of time before you get your initial deposit, but you'll be able to withdraw your original deposit by then. And then I do think if we check out the investments, you can see right here, that's pretty much what we see. The withdrawal dates and things like that, as well as basically what we've been getting every single day. I can't seem to find where we get that investment every single time. Maybe it's somewhere over here. I do get the emails, so I check. You can see basically how their referral system works. But otherwise, enough about BitSonar. I just wanted to share that with you. And let's jump back into the technical analysis. So guys, for those of you that watched yesterday's video, some very interesting things were actually going on. As you can see, as I scroll down right here, you can see that yesterday we were discussing the Bitcoin and XRP Ripple critical move. And it's something that we do have to consider and focus on because quite honestly, we are kind of in that position where we're either going to be blasting up with quite a bit of volume coming to the market, or we're going to be breaking down with quite a bit of force. I'm going to be discussing both sides, whether the bulls will be, win or whether the bears are going to win. I'm going to show you both sides, and then you guys are going to help me decide whether or not I should be buying long or shorting on DueDEX's platform right here, as you guys can see. If you guys don't have DueDEX, highly recommend you sign up. It is the first link in the description down below. Basically, this will allow you to buy long, sell short, as well as leverage trade, which I know a ton of you guys are already doing, and it does help support the channel, so definitely make sure to click that link down below. Otherwise, we will be looking at a couple of things. As you can see right here, Bitcoin is definitely in an uptrend. It's something that's quite interesting. You can see this is forming on Ethereum as well as XRP and Litecoin, and that's kind of what I want to discuss with you. When you spend your focus and your time focusing on Bitcoin, you'll see a very interesting pattern forming. It's hard to draw the uptrend on Bitcoin. It is here though. You can clearly see this is some sort of formation, some sort of upwards movement. I try to connect it to the bottom. It's kind of a little bit farther away from that. If we move it ever so slightly, you can see this more or less is the formation. Now we are above the high-low MMA, so this does give me reason to believe we should be heading up higher. We did just consolidate back down from being overbought or testing the overbought signal on the RSI, pulling all the way back down to 63. It gives us plenty of potential to move up higher. The reason I'm fairly bearish on here is because of the other cryptocurrencies that I'm going to show you in a second. But the reason why I think the bulls are going to continue to win is basically because we are seeing right at this moment a bullish cross on the MACD. This ultimately could help the coin shoot up much higher. Now, yes, we are coming into some resistance right here, basically the beginning where we had that inverse, doji candle right here where we ultimately started to correct downwards. We're not really seeing that right now. Ultimately, we did close last week's candle, and today we're starting, or yesterday we started the new week's uptrend right here. So there's a very, very, very high chance come the end of this week we'll definitely close higher than $8,700, which we're currently opened today at. So I do believe in the long run we are going to see the coins head up, and I do believe Bitcoin come May will be much higher than where we are currently now, almost double in price. Now, what I want you guys to focus on is basically why I think we could be in a bearish scenario. We do have some bullish things. I will discuss that more, but I want to show you the bearish cross or the bearish movements, and then I'll show you the other one. When you look at XRP, something to consider. XRP trading at number 3 right now, very, very, very similar in trading compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're pretty much almost identical and in sync. And for the most part, the markets are up about 1 to maybe 2% all in all, with Bitcoin SV still in number 5, up about 4.5% right now. But what I want you to focus on is that that XRP is indeed hitting its resistance right here. Now, this is definitely a good and bad thing. It's basically the ultimate test that we really need to figure out. One thing to pay attention to is we do have this bullish cross right here. The last time we had that bullish cross was over here, and you can see we immediately, right about here, went from 26 cents all the way up to 30 cents. So there's definitely that possibility we could see that movement again. We do have that bullish cross confirmed, and that does signify we could be heading up higher. But also pay close attention to that we have had candles break above here, above this massive resistance, and then we ultimately fell lower. Now, this was due to the high-low MMA coming into play here. But the fact is we've fallen much lower than that, and we've clearly tested a bottom support at around 20 cents. There's definitely room for us to be breaking this resistance and heading up higher. If not right now, this confirming the bullish break, it's definitely going to be around 15.5 to 16 cents where we do have that bullish break. And ultimately, if we can close the candle above here, I do believe we'll swing all the way up to 37, if not 85 cents very soon on XRP. But that ultimately is why I'm slightly bearish, is basically due to XRP, none of the other cryptocurrencies. Now, we aren't yet overbought, but basically we are intertwined right now with that high-low MMA, and it is an uptrend. Usually that does signify a break to the downside. If things tend to swing the other way, that will be awesome. If we can see the break to the upside and we can cross here, I definitely think we're shooting right up to 30 cents very quickly on XRP. So definitely pay very close attention to here. I think any confirmation right now will be a signal to be buying into DueDEX, either shorting the coin or buying long. It's ultimately just when XRP decides to make that move. If we see a break to the downside, a movement down to 22 cents, I would immediately put a short in on DueDEX and then ride the wave down. And vice versa, if we see a confirmation any second above that red and green band, then it is a clear confirmation that we're going to be breaking bullish and we should catch the wave. We are kind of teeter-tottering, nearing overbought, but we still could be breaking up fairly quick. You know, with that weekly bullish signal forming on the MACD, there's definitely room to shoot up as well. Now, when you look at Litecoin, you can see Litecoin's above the high-low MMA. We're also in this uptrend that is forming perfectly. So the reason is we did see that consolidation from being overbought at around 78, pulling back down around 67 right here. There's a very good chance we can bounce off of this uptrend right here and continue to head higher up. That is my bullish analysis in regards to the fact that I do think there is potential for us to head up higher. Maybe this was the consolidation that we needed on Bitcoin and on Litecoin, and now we're going to start to head up higher. So that's why I'm fairly bullish. You can see on Bitcoin, it looks like we've come back down, consolidated the past 3 days, I'd say, if not 4, and it looks like we're going to be heading up higher once again. Very shocked if we fall bearish. If we do, I think a very quick short to this level and then follow immediate swing to the upside is necessary. But ultimately, my only scare on Bitcoin is this is still a lower high than the previous one right here at around $9,400. We were rejected there. So the second we can get up closer to that and break through here, I'll be ultimately bullish on the market and we should be seeing movements to the upside. But we're really in a very, very, very critical time period that will really shape the rest of 2020. It's basically whether or not we can break the previous high and ultimately be long bullish on the market. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say with that. So ultimately, just a quick recap on what's going on. We're looking for a break above the high or the previous high, which is around $9,400 on Bitcoin. We are getting very close. There's a small uptrend forming on the daily, and there's a good chance we're going to continue to climb this upwards to eventually be bullish. You can see right here, ultimately, if we're just paying attention to Bitcoin's weekly, this is a bullish signal. This is an immediate buy. Honestly, if you just want to go off of this, I would leverage smaller, maybe 3 to 5 times, and hold on to it for maybe 1 to 2 weeks, and then hold for the long term. And then eventually, there's a very high chance with all the bullish signals on Bitcoin's weekly that we are going to continue up higher because we've retested this bottom support, and we are starting to form a new uptrend, and we could immediately break bullish like that. That's ultimately the pattern I do have in store. Otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's video, guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I'll see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.